Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I am somewhat in the garden after a week and a half or two of avoiding the garden because of that yellow jacket attack that happened a couple weeks back. I'm still scared, so I wear a hat. It is about 97 real feel right now. The humidity is about 78%. So it's miserable. This is gonna be a quick, let's go look at my tomato plants. Let's get a few things harvested. So much rain the last, I guess, week. Storms every night, rain, rain, rain. No rain today though, so I think there's going to be quite a few cracked tomatoes. But let's go have a look, and I'm glad you're here. All right, we're going to start here in the backyard with my one tomato plant that I think is doing the absolute best. This is my backyard Whitmore. It's an heirloom tomato. It is very wide and pretty tall, and it's looking really nice, and there is a nice fruit developing right there. So I don't know what to say. When you see the rest of my tomatoes, you're probably gonna cry like I want to cry, but yeah, this guy looks really well. Not a lot of flowers, just a little bit here and there. I don't think this is a huge production type tomato plant, but it really looks happy right now. So that's a good thing. There is a sungold behind it. And here is the tomato patch in containers, except for one in front of my deck. They are doing okay. Some more than others. This Foxfire Pink has done really well. The blushing star in the background that is actually down in the ground, I have yet to have any fruit from that at all. But the Foxfire Pink has done phenomenal right here. Looks like I've got a tomato on, it's Tennessee Suited. Every single one I have picked from this plant and the one out front is cracked. This has been the summer of rain and 1.5 weeks of no rain, but a lot of rain and heat, humid, hot heat. So all of these I have picked have been cracked. I have to make a note of that for the future. The Jamestown has not done well out here in this backyard location. Much better out front. We'll see that here soon. Don't think any of his tomatoes are ready. None of the tomatoes up on the deck have fruit right now. One actually will have to pull. And then all of these guys look really rough. But I had an epiphany. I think I know what I did wrong. They all look kind of rough except for this one, which I'll put the variety here on the screen. Actually, I think I know the variety. This is Kellogg's Breakfast. This is the one that I removed a whole main stem off of, and I guess it recovered. It looks not half bad. This guy, this Prudence Purple, I cut everything out. This is going out into the woods later. Horrible. But I think the epiphany is that this organic mulch that I bought to keep my soil moist, keep it from splashing up. Also, I think maybe it has been leaching nitrogen from the soil, because I have struggled with these really neon yellow leaves in several of the plants right in this area. Yep. So that's one theory. Also, I do think I've had blight. I know I've had blight on some of these plants, but there could be yet other issues at play. I know the Prudence Purple, all of my Prudence Purples did not do well here in my Central Virginia location. So now let's move on to the other part of the backyard. There's lots of tomatoes back in through here. Do have a nice little eggplant growing there on the top of my green stalk. So pretty. It's little though. It's got a ways to go. Before we look at any more tomatoes, I wanted to let y'all know my fig tree has really produced well this year. Lots and lots of figs. They've got a ways to go. but I have had one so far and it was pretty good. This definitely, with the mosquitoes out here right now, they are just atrocious. So they are following me everywhere I go. This early girl, I did trim it really aggressively, I think yesterday or the day before. It had a lot of blight. You can see it doesn't look too bad right now. Steadily picking fruits off. They do seem to be getting a little smaller at this point. Sometimes that happens as the season goes on, but I still see a lot of flowers to come, future fruits, so that is a good thing. Now, in my last tomato update video, I stood right here and I told you guys the purple heart, which is the plant in the foreground here, and then the Tennessee suited back there. We're just handling our heat wave like rock stars. But guess what? A few days after that, they all just kind of look like this. They didn't take that mega heat wave. It was like maybe a week and a half, no rain, and at the same time we were having a heat wave. A couple of them right here, the purple heart, are trying to recover. I'm gonna let those ride and see how they do, but this plant here on the left will come out. See, I'll kind of see how that Tennessee suited does. It might pull out of that as well. We'll see. It still looks pretty rough. And then the Eva purples, I think they're going to be okay. Of course, you can see the blight on the leaves right there. I just cut it off as I see it. It's just so humid. It's been so humid all summer, especially the last 2 months. And here is one of my Prudence purples that needs to come out. Maybe I'll put some cucumber seeds down in there. Yeah, it didn't survive the heat wave. The Eva purple seems to be doing okay though. This is a favorite of mine. I've grown it many, many years. I highly recommend Eva purple. Similar size to the early girl. So I've got the early girl, a nice bright red, and then similar size is the Eva purple, which is a pretty kind of purplish pink color. All right, guys, we got to keep going because the mosquitoes are really following me. You can see all these Japanese beetles just eating away on everything they want to eat on. It's odd they're not eating the rose leaves, but they're eating the heuchera seed pods. Very interesting. Looks like I will have carrots to harvest pretty soon. I need to go get those cucumbers. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go get them because they're getting very, very humongous. Oh, yeah, we need to get those right now. Also have a cucumber over here. This is Market War. It can take some shade, and that's why it's right there. This is Space Master 80. It's done really well. The seedlings that I had sown and were growing were eaten. They're gone. I have to reseed very quickly. See my lovely array of weeds growing everywhere. And even in my onion bed, somehow managed to get some weeds over there. And my poor onions, they did not take that heat wave well at all. I did not use any shade cloth or any type of protection other than watering them to protect them from the heat. And this is what they look like. They lost most of their foliage, and not sure if it'll grow back. They're definitely not big enough to harvest, but I could still cook with them. I could still eat them if I wanted to. I'm just going to kind of see what happens if they start to regrow their tops. Maybe I should fill them and see if they're squishy, but they look pretty okay at this point. We'll see. Just keep an eye on them. These green peppers are looking really well. As long as I can keep the slugs and the earwigs and the grasshoppers off. They love to demolish these green peppers in particular in this spot. Now these tomatoes are about done. Also had put down that same mulch here. I'm not sure if that caused any of the issues that I've had to deal with. The Prudence purple that was in here has been taken out. There's a tiny bit of life still hanging on in here. Maybe if I prune and clean up, some of these guys might recover, but they might not. So that leads us into my tomato tunnel We're here. Lots of tomatoes in through there, but mostly cherry and smaller type. But I do see some we can go pick. That is an Eva purple as well. I think we've gotten to the point of the year where I need a ladder to climb up here to get some of those cherry tomatoes. And I don't think I feel like doing it tonight, so yeah, I think that might be a tomorrow job for sure. Next year, only one orange cherry tomato. I cannot keep the varieties straight. I have 3 different orange cherry tomatoes I'm growing this year. I do have a video on tasting them and what my thoughts are. So if you want to watch that, here's a picture of the thumbnail for that video. Uh-oh, my first sun sugar to crack. These are my favorite though, out of the 3 Goldens. But what I was saying is I would like to know what I'm eating when I eat it. So next year it's just 1 golden, 1 red, and I'll grow 1 purple cherry tomato. Maybe a bicolor, but I don't like getting them all mixed up. Very good. We have had a lot of water, so cracking is pretty normal. I do try to pick all of my fruit early at the first sign of blushing to prevent cracking, but some of the tomatoes, it's just not even helping. It is just too hot. I'm gonna do the cherry tomatoes another day, maybe tomorrow when I get the ladder. We're gonna move on to securing any bigger fruits so that they don't crack or get eaten by the chipmunks and squirrels. Here's an example of just a couple days of rain that we've had in the last few days. We didn't get rain today, the first time in a while. This is Jamestown. So this is the one I wanted to show you guys. This is the full sun Jamestown. This is how it should grow as a determinate tomato plant. It's bushy. It's putting on almost all of its fruit at the same time. They're turning close to around the same time. So a 2 to 3 week window. Most of these fruits should be completed. This one looks really good. The one in the back, not so much. So I'll make a note that this guy definitely needs complete full sun. Yeah. So I told you guys I'm waiting on the cherry tomatoes until I get a ladder. They're just getting way too outrageous. We need to get up in here. It's becoming a little bit of a jungle. A little bit scary to walk in through here. It's pretty too. I do like walking through the tunnel. Okay, let's not head this way just yet. Yeah, before we go back in our tomato tunnel, I'm going to pick a few of these guys. So as soon as they start to blush, as soon as they start to break color, like this guy, he is taking on, he's going from white to a pale yellow to a darker yellow to like a yellow with a tinge of orange. So he's not going to get any bigger. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick him. He can finish changing colors, and he will, on my kitchen counter. And obviously these guys are definitely ready for the kitchen counter. So I grew this tomato at Jamestown to see if I like it better than Ace 55, which is a favorite of mine. So as soon as they're ripe, I would do a taste test and figure out if they are indeed better than Ace 55. I'm kind of doubtful because I love Ace 55, but we shall see. Looks like some of the blossoms are actually coming off. That could be from heat. That could be from disease or excessive water. This is a container. It seems to dry out pretty quick, so I don't think it's the water. I think it was probably the heat. It's been very, very hot, very, very humid. I cannot take the humid. It is just gross. Very gross. So this was Tennessee suited. You can see he is not well suited anymore. So he will probably need to come out. There's just a teeny weeny bit still hanging on. I don't think it's worth keeping them in this pot when we could put something else there to grow possibly. Got some cayennes. This is Purple Heart. Same situation as the Tennessee Suited. It did not take the heat. It got dry. It was done during that time period when I had been attacked by yellow jackets and I didn't want to come outside for like a week. And it did not get watered until it was too late. And it was during that week and a half where we did have like a drought, no rain. And yeah, so I think it's dead. There's a little bit of growth there, but it's not worth keeping that pot occupied. I'll probably put maybe a squash seed or two in there, like a bush type. I've got some peppers in this container, and I can see 2 of them have sun scald. Peppers over there, peppers in that container, and I've got actually a cantaloupe plant that decided to take off and do really well. We just need to protect those fruits from the deer and the chipmunks and the squirrels. So back in this area, I have this container right here with silver slicer cucumbers growing. And there's another container behind it on the other side of the walkway with some red cherry tomatoes and some green peppers. I don't know if I'm brave enough today to go back there. After that yellow jacket incident, I have been a little fearful. I don't see a lot of things flying around right now. I guess we can come back here and take a peek. There's also a bunch of milkweed bugs everywhere, which are kind of creepy, crawly, gross. They like to eat on the milkweed pods. It's all part of the process. Let's see if I can get back in through here without scaring myself to death. So, did have some okra take off, at least maybe 2 plants. You can see the cherry tomato has gone wild, and the deer have been coming up and eating on it. It was an extra plant. I'm not too worried about it. The milkweed is just a big mess. I need some time to come out here and work when I can stand the heat and the humidity. Oh, there's a milkweed bug for you guys. Yeah, I'm not climbing up in here today to clean this up. But I do have a nice silver slicer plant here growing. See if I see any fruit yet. Not yet. Not yet. Looks like my hardy hibiscus that I relocated is happy. And I've got a poblano in that pot there that looks okay, but it looks like the cucamelons are going ballistic. We have got to get this pulled out. This is one of my worst regrets ever to plant cucamelons. Yeah, one of my biggest regrets. Not the only one in the garden, but one of the biggest. So we need to get out of here. If these little things start to grow, they get bigger, maybe half this, double this size, and then they turn black because you don't pick them and eat them, and then the seeds fall, and then you've got more cucamelons next year, and it's a big, big problem. So now we're on the front walkway of my house. I have a knockout rose, and then I've also got 2 foxfire pink tomato plants growing right next to the rose bush. But I'm no longer eating the fruits from this area, even though I like them. They're actually really good. I will grow this variety again. Right up in here, this is my van right here on the right. Right up in here was a yellow jacket nest in the ground, and it was pumped full of chemicals to kill off the hive, and I'm worried that the tomatoes may have taken that into the fruit, and I just don't feel safe to eat it. So these are just a bust this year. I mean, the squirrels can have them, the chipmunks, the birds, whatever. I'm not gonna eat them though. So all through here I've got poblanos and jalapenos, and in the far background there, we'll go see closer, are some tomatoes. We just picked all these jalapenos like 4 or 5 days maybe ago, but it looks like there are more that need to get picked. The poblanos aren't quite big enough yet, but let's go check on those tomato plants. I've been hands off in the garden for the last couple weeks or so after my yellow jacket attack. I have not been out here doing my normal deer prevention. You can see the telltale signs of deer eating your tomato plants. This is what it looks like. They've been over here eating and munching a lot, it looks like. Yeah. And there is my front yard Whitmore. It's very elongated. It is kind of growing into the butterfly bush. Sorry about that. I could have swore I felt a sting on my elbow, so I had to take off for a second to go look at my elbow. I was afraid I was getting stung again by the yellow jacket. Anyway, so this Whitmore has no fruit on it at all. No flowers. It does not look well compared to the backyard Whitmore. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this experiment. I doubt if I'm even going to get any fruit off of this front yard full sun tomato plant, which is weird. So let's go ahead and look at the tomato tunnel because there's not much to see here with these tomatoes, and I'm kind of spooking myself out thinking the yellow jackets are going to come back. Let's make our way through the tunnel, see if there's any big tomatoes we can pick. Oh, my golden Marconis are starting to grow. Never grown those before. Goodness. It's a wonder I don't break my neck trying to climb through here. All right, all of these look pretty green, so let's keep going back. There's another view of the pepper. I did clean this up a little bit one day, but it could use definitely a cleaning up again. I really did. I think it looks a lot better. You can see just normal blight, maybe some septoria on some of these cherry tomatoes. This berry's crazy. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it. And maybe we'll put a cucumber seed down in there and it can climb up. I think that would be a great idea. You can see here are the cicadas. They are definitely in full force. And I mixed up my cherry tomatoes again. Oh, these poor tomatoes. Oh, there's a tomato. I need to go get that. I'm glad we came back in here. So out of these 4, well, technically 3, because remember I pulled out that Prudence purple back there on that far corner. Just 3 plants in this bed right now. I'm definitely going to pick that. And I'm definitely going to pick this. Oh, it's very soft. Very soft. Alpoca, I think that's what that's called. It has not been too happy in that container. Definitely could use watering more frequently, but because of all the rain, haven't had to worry too much, except when we skip a day or 2 of rain, it dries out. This is Eva Purple. Remember, this is a favorite. I love this plant. It does so well here with all of these horrible conditions. Definitely a keeper. And there were some apricot zebras doing pretty well, but they also were cracking left and right. So I'm not sure if I would grow it again just because of that, but it did taste not half bad. It was actually a nice tomato. Very small, about like the size, but very good. Actually, here we go. Perfect. I'm so glad I get to show you. So this is just, in the blushing stage. It's not fully changed colors yet. But it's really pretty. It's kind of like a bicolor with a dark, beautiful orange and a little bit of green. Very nice, decent flavor. And this one didn't crack. So that's a bonus. Yay. Well, guys, I think this is probably a good place to go inside and get cooled off because it is getting very late. Like, I'm talking, it's probably getting close to 7-ish, 7:30, and I need to cook dinner. But we have been eating a ton of tomatoes. I'm going to conclude this video with a look at the harvesting we've done over the last week and a half-ish or so. Now, I hope you're having a great gardening week. Your harvest is coming in. I know it's been a hard tomato year for a lot of people, including myself. It makes me wish I had started some new plants about 4 to 6 weeks ago. I did not. Thinking about starting around a determinants even this late. If I can find some that'll mature in, say, 60-ish days, I may do that. All right, talk to you soon. Oh, I can't forget this guy. All right, bye guys.